All right, but so the Pocket listing service, I think it started about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and we brought it up on the show, and it was really interesting because it was like, it was really like it was kind of like our own website, kind of starting that process, and we were kind of excited to see where it would go, but it was really using the tactic of the Pocket listing, but not the Pocket listing because it's been a long used secret in the industry where if you have a listing coming up, you share it to your office like, hey, I have this coming up, right? And then this put things out, to the world. If this website, think about it, if this website, the PLS grew, I think it was just the PLS.com, grew to national and got a lot of traffic every year or every week and every month, you would get listings seen before you had to put them in the multiple listing service. Now, what happened was there was a clear cooperation policy that was passed. So that kind of stifled their entire business. So what they did was they sued. They brought a suit against NAR and the MLSs, which one of them is ours here in California, the California Regional MLS. But it got thrown out, right? So, but it seems that they are not going down with a fight. The PLS, formerly a private listing network for real estate agents, is appealing a dismissal of its antitrust lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors and 3 of the nation's largest multiple listing services. In May 2020, the PLS filed a federal antitrust lawsuit against NAR and the MLSs over a policy designed to curb Pocket listing. So it curbed their entire business, essentially. And now the policy is you have to put it in with 1 day of taking the listing, which there are workarounds for that, and they seem to have found one, which is interesting. I don't know if you read the article, but it's kind of interesting, Ray. The suit alleged the defendants had violated the federal. So this is the Pocket listing service alleged that it had violated the federal, the Federal Sherman Antitrust Act and California's Cartwright Act for adopting the clear cooperation policy, which requires listing brokers to submit a listing to their MLS within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public.
Uh-oh. He froze. He freeze for anyone else, or is it just me? I don't know. All right, if you're on YouTube. Oh, wait, here he is. He's back.
He's frozen.
He's back frozen. What happened? So this is part of the joys of technology and live shows. We'll have to figure out how to cut this stuff out of the YouTube version whenever we upload it, because I know you can do it off the front end, but we'll have to figure it out off the back end. All right, so we'll wait on Dan. He'll rejoin here in a second. Looks like his internet went down. Just to talk about the PLS, because I did invite some people who are in January. Oh, wait, there he is. Wait, Dan, what happened? He can't hear us, I don't think. He's probably going to do the whole article without knowing that he's frozen. Oh, wait, here he is. We got 2 Dans now.
2.
Dan, what happened?
Right. I needed a break real quick.
He just logged off instantly.
No, I have no idea. So I quickly reacted. I left the studio and then came back in. But my internet shows it's really awesome. I'm on the
Oh, you were just talking about the PLS relaunched the public facing website. You can start there. Yeah. Oh man, it's still messing up. My internet's good too. Wonder what's going on. Sorry, guys. This is part of the love of this show that I hate is when something's not reliable like this. We use StreamYard right now, and at the end of the show, they always ask us about the stream. So apparently it is not good today. I have no idea why. Justin, hey man, thanks for joining the show. You kind of have a beard. You have some scruff there, Justin. He says, I'm the only non-bearded guy. I'm the non-bearded guy in the audience. Melissa Mars said, everyone's freezing. Am I freezing too? Matt, do you see me? Producer Matt.
Yes. Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
I think everything's good.
He says, Dan is frozen and I can't hear you on Clubhouse. Really? Here, let me turn up. Matt, can you hear me on Clubhouse? I wonder if something just happened because, well, I can't hear you. You replied on Clubhouse, but I can't hear you. I'm hearing like sirens and stuff out my window. Dusty says Zillow's probably retaliating. Yep. I'm good on your end, Ray. Oh, thanks, Mario. I appreciate you. All right, we'll wait a couple more minutes. If Dan can't rejoin, I'll kind of cover his article there, but I just heard him. All right. Hey.
Is it just me or is it?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. So I don't know.
Cool.
Bad internet. I thought maybe it was me because I heard like a boom outside and I'm hearing sirens. So apparently somebody had a wreck in our neighborhood. But
that's so weird.
Bad. All right. So see if you can pick it up where you left off and we'll just keep going. Thanks.
Yeah. This is going to challenge Matthew's editing skills. But so the PLS, the public or private listing service, pocket listing service, relaunched as a public facing website that I haven't gone and checked out, but it takes advantage of the 1 business day caveat. Okay. So you know how they do it. What they do is they list it on a Friday and then they start marketing on Friday, and it doesn't have to be listed. So they can put it on the PLS on Friday. It doesn't have to be put on the MLS till Monday. So you can get through the weekend without having to.
Oh, business.
Because it's a business day, right?
Right.
So what they've done is they've found a workaround. So they'll put it on the PLS on Friday, which I've had that happen on here, and it happens more in LA. It's all these brokers are from Los Angeles in the higher end areas. And I just saw one the other day. My client sent it to me and I was like, I don't see it. So I had to go find, and then it showed up on our actual MLS on Monday. So I think they're taking advantage of that. So it's interesting, but in August, NAR and the MLS is struck back with a motion to dismiss the PLS's lawsuit, arguing that antitrust laws do not exist to protect competitors, but rather consumers and competition. And PLS had not shown that the clear cooperation policy harmed either. So last month, in a February 3rd opinion, the U.S. District Judge John W. Holcomb in Central California agreed with the defendants, so NAR and the MLSs, that while the PLS has alleged facts showing harm to its own business, the company did not plausibly allege harm to competition and consumers. So that even if this is a quote from him, the judge himself, even accepting the PLS's allegations as true, Holcomb opined, great word, that the clear cooperation policy has some plainly pro-competitive access because it results in more information. And then the shortened version to end this one, we can get some comments, is they've, as of February 23rd, they filed a notice of appeal with the U.S. Court of Appeals. So we're going to kind of watch that and see how this goes. But do you guys think it can go anywhere? Do they have a leg to stand on? And then I also wanted to ask, how is the clear cooperation policy affecting you guys?
I feel like the NAR is getting it from all sides right now. So,
which I'm kind of happy about, honestly.
Yeah, they got to sharpen up here. Let's be better. So, back when a lot of people that are joining us now on Clubhouse did not hear the debate we had about coming soon in the past. And so I do want to rehash that a little bit and kind of let people know where we stand. We were both using coming soon as a tool to get people excited about the listings, people that were out there shopping for a house this weekend. Hey guys, we got a really good one coming soon next weekend. You might want to wait. So we were having great success kind of letting the market know this one's coming. You might be interested, so that we would get more activity for our sellers. Right. Now, since then,
which is our main job, by the way.
Right. Marketing.
Right.
So I think what they were trying to stop is some agents selling properties off market for lower value.
Yeah. Right? And not getting maximum exposure, not letting everyone see it, keeping it to their office or their friends.
And agents that were trying to, quote, double into deal. Right.
Well,
this rule didn't do that at all, because right now I can list a property and keep it in my pocket. And if I find someone interested, I can sell it to them and then put it on the MLS after it's sold. And I'm within the rule. So I can double in the deal. My seller might be getting taken advantage of, or the buyer. You don't know because the property's not been exposed to the market. I was doing a comparative market analysis yesterday for a client. And I was looking at the 5 or 6 properties right around this home that had immediately sold. And there was one that was an outlier. And it sold a good $30 per foot under value compared to the other properties on the market.
How big was the property? Or the actual?
They were all about 2,000 square feet. So,
but
and
that's a big difference when you multiply the 30 times that $2,000.
Oh yeah. So I was looking at it and I was like, well, I generally don't exclude an outlier, but I cannot figure out why this one sold so much lower than the surrounding homes. Then I looked
So
up
who was the
sale.
buyer's agent?
The buyer's agent was an agent from the same company that sold it.
Right. There you go.
So listing agent, buyer's agent got together, sold the house, a good 30. I think it was $30 a foot less than what some of the other homes in the area sold for. I guess that amounts to what, 60,000, something like that. So crazy number that property is off, and I had to throw it out as an outlier. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I wonder if the sellers know. I wonder if they have any clue what they could have actually sold this property for. So this coming soon rule they implemented to prevent this exact behavior, in my opinion, hasn't really prevented that behavior. That behavior is still happening, and there's still real estate companies and real estate agents who are maybe not on the up and up, taking advantage of sellers in that way, trying to get a buyer a better deal without exposing a property to a really hot market right now. Now, are there reasons to have pocket listings? Sure. Are there some people that just want to be private and never want to have a listing? Yeah, absolutely. But to say that that person that's holding that listing can't tell other people that it is coming soon further reduces the competition for that seller, and I think puts them at a detriment. So as a rule, or as a person, I don't think the rule is very valuable or does what they think it does.
And can I read it real quick?
Yeah, read that part.
I have it up. So this is the section 1.01 clear cooperation. Within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to the MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants. Public marketing includes, but not limited to, flyers, displayed windows, blah, 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 yard signs, all that stuff, including IDX and VOW, digital communication marketing, email blasts. So I think they even consider, like, if you post about it on Facebook kind of thing, multi-brokerage listing sharing networks, which is the pocket listing system, and applications available to the general public. So all it says, though, is within 1 day of marketing the property, not within 1 day of taking the listing.
Right.
So I can still sign my
listing.
Yeah.
You hold it for a year or two. You just can't tell anybody you got it that's outside of your company. So let me bring up Gary. Gary joined us on Clubhouse. He's actually pretty active with the NAR, and I want to get his opinion on this appeal thing from the PLS. And Gary, if you think I'm wrong on the coming soon rule and that it's not really doing what it intended to do, I'd love to hear your opinion on that. So what do you think?
Yeah, so first off, I'm Gary Rogers. I'm a Metro West Boston broker. I've been involved quite a bit. Full disclosure, I'm still currently an NAR director and do some work. And if anybody's curious, you can check my profile. But you hit it the nail on the head. The coming soon was there to protect for that time frame. I do a fair amount of new construction, and so sometimes the builders would say, "Look, at least get it on there," but I don't want people walking on the site until this weekend or whatever. And we are a smart breed, okay? If there's a way to game the system or find a loophole, realtors will do it. And especially now where they're so hungry. I've never seen, there's quite a few that are killing it. But for every one of them, you guys probably know 10 agents that are suffering greatly. There's such an inventory shortage, and the hustlers are getting the work. And the ones that are kind of sitting back waiting for it to be easier they're getting hungry. And sometimes they get desperate and do things that they really shouldn't. But the coming soon status, every MLS has different rules that they apply as well. Our MLS is realtor owned, but not owned by the Realtor Association. It's by stockholders, MLS PIN in New England. And coming soon, I think it's 21 days you can have a coming soon until you have to put it in as whatever. But right in the rules, it says nobody shall show it, which we know they do. And that's why, you just brought up a great example where, something sold, drastically, suspiciously lower. Let's just leave it that way than what the comps were. Because, there's a major company here that I was with for just a little while in transition. And, they'd march everybody through a listing on a Wednesday, and they'd start showing it in-house all to their own people. And then come Friday, when the showings were allowed, all of a sudden that night it was under agreement. So coming soon is really tricky. The intent was good. It just clarified what brokers are already doing, but I think it's been abused and the loopholes. I apologize because I wanted to sit in on this conversation early. So if I'm repeating something that was already said, to me, Zillow is now a broker, and so they're entitled to the same promotional things on their website as far as I know. And I'm not an IDX or MLS person. That's not my area of involvement in the industry. But from if I have my own website, XYZ website, and I want to feature listings that are my listings, I have the right to do that. And if they're not, I don't care where they show up on my website. It's still a search engine. So I don't know if that answered your question about the coming soon. I do agree with you, but we all know that, let's be really transparent here. There are people that are excellent at gaming it, and the clients are getting screwed is really what it comes down to.
There you go. I completely agree with Gary. I'm glad NAR's, I think we can formally say NAR is on our side because Gary's here. So we have, but yes, you echoed actually what we were talking about earlier, that Zillow is now a member of the board, and because of that, they should have all the same protections. I don't have to have REX listings on my site. So we were kind of saying the same thing there, Gary. So I appreciate you coming to the show, especially for joining us and give us your input. You have something else?
Full disclosure, my views are my own views. It's that disclosure we all have to make. I don't represent any positions or anything. That's not my expertise within NAR. But that being said, that is my personal opinion.
There you go. So like I said, we have the full support of NAR.
Well, we better. I mean, we're getting hush money, so we better.
That's right. We are getting the hush money. No, that's funny. No,
so
Gary, we like to blow everything out of proportion. So I appreciate you coming on and doing
well, we are part of the media, and that's what the media does. So we're just following suit. Exactly. But can I ask this question? So I still do now. I used to make it was way more exaggerated. I would list a property on a Wednesday and then hold it through a weekend and through another week, and then it would be available for showings to really build up pent up demand. And maybe we have to go back to that when the market calms down. But right now, I still list it on Wednesday nights. That's when I list it. And then it's populated. So it's in there. It's doing all its thing. It's going through all the different, electronic worlds. And then it hits websites on Thursday. It hits them on Friday. And then showings are Saturday and Sunday. And we open up windows from usually, depending on the seller, but 10 to 6. They're just gone. They're gone 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday. And we see kind of the traction we get. Do we need more showings on Monday if we haven't gotten any offers, whatever the case is. But we have a form called a seller exclusion where the seller is saying, because it does become the listings or the brokerage is listing, but the seller is saying, do not market my home or do not put my home on the MLS until you can have this form signed. Do not put it on the MLS until this date, and they can agree to it. But I just, the whole thing with the marketing, like I'm still marketing it. I'm just not allowing showings until. So if you want to hit Dusty,
thing,
it is the same thing. I'm not pocketing it. I'm still getting out to the market. So they're the masses. But if you want to read Dusty's comment and then I'll finish my statement.
Yeah, Dusty from YouTube, she says, the only thing it's doing for me is killing my ability to really market the home to the best of my ability for the sellers. I've adjusted, but it's not been as effective as it was. She said, after 7 years, have only done dual agency twice, and one buyer backed out last year, and the other is under contract. For the record, price miles for my seller. Oh, for a record price for her seller. So she's done the agency, but they're getting record prices, not undervalued, like what I saw.
Exactly. Yeah. And I did one earlier this year, but it was cash. It was much less, because we cannot negotiate or say, here's what the seller said to the buyer. You can't do any of that. You have to be very, very careful. And we took it very seriously. Like I made sure my brokers were on board. They were there if we needed anything. And we just translated information. Essentially, we were very careful, but this hasn't hurt my marketing at all. It still gets to all the websites. I still go look and see my traffic on all the different websites and my traction. And then I think I mentioned a week or two ago, but we do YouTube videos and 3D tours, and we get a report every week of our traction. How is it doing? So it's really not hurt at all. I don't know. Maybe this is just what I learned as an agent. You can list it on a Wednesday and just show it on the weekends. Maybe I don't know, because I encountered one this last week. It was listed on Monday. It showed for a couple days and it went into escrow on Friday. Like, how is that how is that helping your seller? Like not showing it through a weekend.
I listed one on Monday on purpose because we knew that if we listed this thing on Friday, it was just going to be crazy. And we still went. We got 40 showings and closed, or not closed yet, but we're under contract with cash offers way over list price.
And that works. That's awesome. You know, but for us here specifically, if you're not showing on the weekends, you're not getting max traffic, you know.
Eric said, Eric Vesquez, he said, within my MLS, we're allowed coming soon. It can be advertised as coming soon on the market with the on-market date. It cannot be pushed to third parties, but we can promote it to social media or on our own print, etc.
We have coming soon too. I don't use it, but we have that.
We don't have it. I wish we had it. He said if an offer is inside unseen, it still needs to be presented. It just cannot be shown by anyone in-house or other until the market date. They have a 14-day window for coming soon. And Dusty said, that's what I have to do with my listing agreements. Our standard for our board requires to be in the MLS 2 days of signing, and it's logistically impossible to get a high-quality market in 48 hours. Ours says 24 hours.
I think ours is 2 days, maybe 3. I think it's 2 days as well.
But ours is going 24 hours, supposedly 24 hours from the time it's first marketed, supposedly. Well, that's super interesting. I don't know if the PLS is going to win this. I don't think they will. It is an appeal. I think NAR had pretty good grounds for doing what they did so far. But I'm curious to know how the pocket listing / coming soon rule. I wonder how it will evolve from here and from this lawsuit, and also as agents are trying to be good stewards of this practice. I think they should just totally take it out. You can't allow a brokerage to do it in-house, and you can't allow that agent to do it if you can't allow it, period. It just doesn't seem like it'll work. So what it's forced me to do is I basically have a book. So this is my bullet journal. And in my bullet journal, I have a special page. And in that page, I have a list of people who have told me they're interested in selling, but not yet. And I have their address. I have the price they want. I have the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. And so I have the basic information, and also, of course, obviously where it's located, like the general neighborhoods. And so when I have a buyer that's searching for a property, I can just go to that page and say, well, here I have their on market dates when they want to go on market. Are they listed? No. But those properties that I know that are coming soon. I have several investments that are coming up. I can't say I have investor coming soon in this neighborhood or that neighborhood, but I have a lot of investment properties that may be coming up. So in the meantime, I'm trying to talk to investors and gather email addresses, because I can't say this unit is coming up. So it's pretty frustrating. Wish I could, because then they would say, yeah, I'm interested in that, or no, that's not for me. And I'll get the right people, but instead I'm not. So I don't know.
You're a little different though, because you're marketing to your thousands of possible buyers. And to put a point on this, to remind everyone, when this first happened a year and a half ago or whatever it was, we were like, this is great that they're trying to do something, they being NAR, but they really missed the mark, because it's not really prevented anything. In fact, it's made it more difficult for like Dusty and Ray and a bunch of agents to market the home property, which was the point of it. So, because they're trying to get rid of people that don't do it the right way. But instead of saying, you guys specifically, we're going to handcuff you, they've handcuffed all of us instead. And so they've kind of missed the mark. But I don't think, I don't know. It feels a little bit like the PLS is doing the same thing that I said Rex is hey, our model didn't, because it was so cool. Like, this was going to be awesome. But then right after they said, clear cooperation policy. And they're like, oh man. So it feels a little bit like they're trying to get their business back.